June 23rd, 1991, a little game called Sonic the Hedgehog was released. Intended to be Sega's mascot character to compete with Nintendo's Mario, he was a small humanoid blue hedgehog with a cool and edgy attitude. The perfect embodiment of the 1990s was a success. That success led to a sequel, several in fact, spin-offs, TV shows, comics, merchandise, and within a short time, Sonic the Hedgehog became a pillar of gaming, becoming one of the most well-recognized gaming icons. And since 1991, they've made so many games through those 34 years, but there's a handful of Sonic games that haven't been released and will never be, just lost to time. Unreleased Sonic games. Every Sonic YouTuber eventually makes this video, and I won't beat around the bush. I guess I'm doing it too. I'm definitely not running out of video ideas. Anyway, today I wanted to shed even more light on games that will never see the light of day. Well, probably. Who knows, maybe people will find the build of these games, or just recreate it. I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's get into it. Welcome to the Lost Sonic games. One of the earliest examples of cancelled Sonic games is of course Sonic EduSoft. Intended to release on the Genesis and Master System, this was an educational spin-off, which I do have to say is a bit strange, seeing that this was supposed to be released the same year as Sonic 1. I don't know, kicking off your franchise with a platformer to go straight to education is a weird choice. That was probably why it was cancelled. Well, actually, the developers of the game, UK-based studio Tyrex, actually failed to get the publishing approval from Sega, to make the game an official entry. Therefore, this game isn't technically official. It depends on how you look at it, however. The game itself is actually able to download and play. I'm not sure where to download, so I'll be using gameplay I found on YouTube. As we can see, the game is basically finished. The gameplay itself consists of Sonic traversing through a hub world. You can get place to place by a helicopter or a hot air balloon. Pretty weird, though that's not the main focus. Since this is an educational game after all, the game is filled with a handful of mini-games, and in these games it's a race against the clock, as you answer questions to win. These questions consist of spelling words and solving math problems. It's a pretty basic premise, and is one of the small examples of games that we have access to currently, so if you want to play it, it's out there somewhere. A famous example of cancelled Sonic games has to be Sega's Sonic Bros. This is one of the few to be an arcade game other than a console release. Set to release in 1992, this game was pretty much your average Tetris clone, or a better example being Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Clearing large sections would allow you to damage Eggman through electrical shocks. Jeez. The game would continue as you go through different zones, from of course the original Sonic the Hedgehog, until you reach level 99. Once completed, you would get a game over with the message, "Congratulations, thank you for playing, level 99 clear. You are a super player." It's pretty sweet. It seemed like your average arcade game with Sonic's face on it, but I do have to say the sprites do look nice. Some really good sprites are in this game, especially the title screen with yellow and red Sonics. Actually, there's a white one too. This was probably made before Sonic's 2 development, explaining the odd colored Sonic variants, and the absence of tails. I'm pretty sure you can play this, though I'm not sure, so yeah. One of the ones I find very interesting was Treasure Tales, being pitched in 1993 for the Sega Mega Drive. This would have been the first Sonic spin-off game, with this game's focus being on Tails. It would have been a puzzle game. There's not really a lot to look at, aside from the screenshots we have of this pitch. It definitely would have been a pretty neat game. Sega's Sonic Cotton Candy Scramble, yet another arcade game. Well, it depends if you can even call this an arcade game. This would have been the second installment to the infamous Sega Sonic Popcorn Shop game, which, if you don't know, was an arcade cabinet that made you popcorn, as you play a little game while it cooked. It's a pretty unique piece of Sonic history, and this would have added to it. Judging off the name, of course, this would have dispensed cotton candy instead of popcorn. The game would have had Sonic and Tails flying the tornado in clouds, of course. Now this game was actually released, somewhat I guess. It only made one appearance at the Japanese amusement show in 1994, where it was playable, but ever since then, it's been lost. So this is an example of Sonic lost media. But as it stands, all we have is a description and these pictures. Sonic Sports. In an issue of Game Player in March of 1995, they gave a short description of a Sonic sports game that would have had basketball, volleyball, and soccer. And some of the characters they say we can play as were Sonic, Tails, and Ristar. It would have been for the Sega 32X. Not sure if this is official or not. Probably not. Sonic Saturn. Being developed alongside Sonic Extreme in 1995, if you know you know, it will get its own video. It was going to be a more realistic game, with more realistic 3D compared to Sonic Extreme. However, Yuji Naka didn't like the prototype, so it never got further in development, although we do have some things from it, like this. Sonic Pool. This would have been a bonus game. We also have some artwork. This one showing off a Cyber Batnik, which looks terrifying. This background art, and this wetlands level concept art, which looks very nostalgic. I like it. I didn't realize it, but there's a huge amount of screenshots, showing off a ton of different levels. I'll take a minute to show them off. The level design looks really good. It's a shame this wasn't released. It's a short one this time around. There's still a lot of games I haven't talked about, but I'll make future videos going further in depth on them, like a Cernic game. So if you enjoyed the video, then consider subscribing, it's free and helps a lot. And with that said, join our Discord and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day. Peace.